Chismosas, after years of speculation, it looks like Becky G has finally touched on the subject of Sebstian, their relationship, and the whole cheating scandal. And we need to talk about it because this is tea. Now, here's the tea, Chismosas. If you guys didn't already see, Becky G released her new documentary called Rebecca. Now, in that documentary, it looks like she had no choice but to talk about her engagement and the cheating scandal with Sebstian, and this is what she had to say. Obviously, I couldn't find any clips, so I actually found this article that I believe, put out, and they actually transcribed everything that she said in that part of the documentary. She said, "I was 19 and Sebastian was 23 when we first met. Definitely not looking for it, and I will say it was different for both of us." And obviously, if she talks about Sebastian, she needs to talk about what a cheating son of a he is. So they go into the engagement and how they got engaged in 2022 after 6 years of dating. I'm sure you guys don't need to be reminded what happened after they got engaged, because it was maybe like 2 or 3 months right after they announced their engagement. They posted all that stuff about it, that all the rumors started swirling that Sebastian was a cheating SOB. And then obviously had no choice but to actually pull a Neymar and come out and be like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry, Becky. You didn't deserve that. I need to go to therapy. I need to work on myself for you." And I was like, boo-hoo. Break up with him. Of course, she went on to say, well, this is when things got really hard for me and I was under a lot of public scrutiny, which, I mean, she still is till this very day, and we know that. She said, "This is when I have a really hard time with the concept of this is what you signed up for. I did not sign up for this. I feel like behind closed doors is my experience." Also added, "It's hard to feel safe discussing the scandal after already having been through so much pain." Now, obviously, a lot of people have had a lot of thoughts about her and Sebastian getting back together and wondering, why will she just not admit it? And it seems like she is feeling like it's hard to feel safe to talk about it. That's not all, because then she goes on to say, "The hardest part is my silence was confused for weakness. There's no words that would make it better, only actions." Now, I don't think this is necessarily true. I love Becky G, and you know what? I don't even give a flip that she is with this man. If he is making her happy and she believes in her heart that he's not going to do it again, you know what? That's none of my beeswax. But I think the whole thing was nobody was confusing that for weakness. We were just confused that she was like talking about women empowerment and how women deserve so much better. She released Mommy with Karol G and all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden she was just back with the dude like nothing happened. I think that's what people had a hard time coming to grips with, which again, it becomes very parasocial, because why do people have to come to grips with that? But when you have made everything else in that relationship and your life so public, I think people just have a hard time detaching. Again, she didn't confirm that she's back together with him in the documentary, but apparently at the end of the film, you can see a guy who is like a soccer star being shown from the back as she reflected on who she wanted to keep around. So obviously, I'm assuming that is supposed to be Sebastian. She ends this whole part by saying, "I also believe that the people who are meant to be in your life aren't the ones who leave, aren't the ones who stay. They're the ones who grow with you. Surrender. We have to. We will never be the same again." And I think that's the point. Now, I know a lot of people are going to have a lot to say about this, and not everybody got to see the documentary. So I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this and her actually talking about the situation. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, chisme, and all things tea.